impossible. I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again. The way they treat the nomads around here is terrible.
No Yukos in Volsambor! The shopkeepers can't take it anymore! The shopkeepers are on strike!
There've been 10 thefts from my shop since those savages showed up! Mr. Mayor, who's gonna pay?
Mr. Mayor! Do your job and come out onto the balcony! The voters want to talk to you!
The nomads are stealing our merchandise and our customers. The Yukos don't belong in Volsambor. The shopkeepers have had enough.
Thieving Yukos in Volsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Thieving Yukos in Volsambor! The shopkeepers want them out the door! Close the nomads!
Excuse me, what's happening here?
Isn't it obvious? We're demonstrating against having the Yukon nomads parked on our doorsteps.
But what for?
Since they came to Valsambor, there's been no end to the shoplifting and vandalism, and on top of that, their souk is taking our customers. Mayor Bulyakin has to do something, and fast. We're not leaving until he receives our delegation.
But why won't the mayor talk to you?
Because he's a schmuck. He wants the nomads to continue their migration as much as us, but he's too afraid of annoying his higher-ups. And while he's gaining time by playing both sides of the board, we're watching our sales go through the floor.
The authorities are asking the mayor to prevent the migration from continuing? They want the Yukos to stay blocked in Valsambor?
That's what people are saying, but if you want my opinion, the only thing the mayor is waiting for is someone to get rid of those savages without him having to get his hands dirty.
If you were only here to see this, Oscar.
You should have seen it back when the port was still open and booming. You'd never even heard of a strike.
As deserted as the outside. Hello? Anyone here? Given the number of seats, this must be some kind of ferry, some kind of transport. It looks like it needs repairs. Too bad. I'll just take a peek. Nobody will ever know. It's more and more like walking through a ghost ship. Nobody here either. It's more and more like walking through a ghost ship. Wow, what a lot of room. Right. Just need to find the owner of this place, then... they must have put all the boats under lock and key after the catastrophe in Baranor.
People are getting more and more excited here. It'll be a riot if it goes on.
Listen to me, please. Come on, get a room.
When they shut the funicular down this morning, it created chaos. Regrettable delays due to traffic management, they said. Yeah, right. When they shut the funicular down this morning, it created chaos.
It's kicking off near the town hall.
I don't like that new waitress working in the tavern at all.
Poor Captain. Even though his superstitions terrify him, he's obviously dreaming of a second chance.
Go find someone else to bother.
The shopkeepers are on strike for the first time in ages. That's not good business for anyone, if you want my opinion.
Everyone's been surly the last few months.
Looking for cigars or some hooch? I'm even cheaper than the nomads.
I don't have any coins. Too bad.
The way they treat the nomads around here is terrible.
Lost your way, pretty girl? If you need someone to follow you around town, just ask. Lost your way, pretty girl?
A prototype for the clinic aviary? "11 hours time difference. Like for New York." Are you still angry at Captain Obo for abandoning your automatons?
Yeah. Hans and I put an awful lot of energy into making them all, you know. We thought of everything.
How so?
Our automatons were designed to tirelessly go through all the rubble, piece by piece, in search of survivors. Administer first aid, and then take them back to the beach so that they could be safely embarked on the Crystal. But because of Obo, none of that ever happened.
What exactly happened in Baranur?
An accident in reactor number 3. Negligence. Faulty maintenance. What do I know? Anyway, one spark was all it took, and then total chaos. The rare survivors were brought back here to the Valsambor Clinic.
So you and Hans decided to build an army of automatons to help all the people who were left behind still stuck in the rubble in Baranur.
Yeah. Hans thought that helping the town that had opened its arms to his amusement park was a duty. And we would have managed to do it in the end, too. If only that coward Obo hadn't left our automatons to rust because of his so-called lake monster. The evil monster of the lake. Stories to scare small children with, Miss Walker. Not an excuse for cowardice. Mein Gott.
How did you meet Hans Wahlberg?
I met dear Hans when he had just arrived here in Valsambor, 20 years ago.
What was he doing in the region?
Oh, he didn't seem to have any particular reason. Always traveling. He stopped off here and there, then left again when the feeling came.
Thank you for your help.
You take care of finding a way for the ostriches to cross the lake, Miss Walker. I'll finish the prosthesis and take it to Kirk.
That big boat, the Crystal, it's been rotting at the dock for years.
Things are heating up for Mayor Bulyakin.
Believe me, it's a really good thing that the nomads can't just come and go around Valsimbor as they please anymore.
We're going to see the Nomad Souk. Apparently they have good prices.
Hi there. Anything biting?
As if. 20 years there's been fewer fish, but sometimes you can get lucky. Go figure. It's really odd.
You seem to know the region well. Maybe you can fill me in a bit. I'd like to know a little bit more about the local legend. I was told that there's a monster down there, living at the bottom of the lake.
It's not a legend.
And how can you be so sure?
Back when, the lake froze over earlier in the season. People would go out and make holes in the ice in the middle of the lake, then fish like that. Sometimes they would even set up these cabins for the winter next to the hole. The old folk always said you should only cut a small hole, just wide enough so the fish could be pulled through when you landed them. No more than that. One day, this guy who was kind of odd cut a really big hole. To make it easier, he said. In case he caught a really big one. You don't have to believe me, but he's the one who went into the hole. Backwards. Into the depths. In less time than it takes to say it, the monster's arm came through the hole, then dragged the poor guy down to the bottom of the lake. That's why the old folks say never make a big hole in the ice, because of the monster that lurks below.
And how do you know all that?
Because the poor guy was my older brother. And I was fishing just next to him that day. So you think what you want. You have a good day, miss. It's because of the lake monster that the locks are closed.
Since the town hall closed the port, we sometimes get the impression we're living in a ghost town.
They must have put all the boats under lock and key after the catastrophe in Baranor.
The way they treat the nomads around here is terrible.
Everyone's been surly the last few months.
Looking for cigars or some hooch? I'm even cheaper than the nomads.
Go find someone else to bother. Mayor Bulyakin is completely gutless. I got nothing against the nomads. I just don't like them hanging around my place, that's all.
If you were only here to see this, Oscar.
You should have seen it back when the port was still open and booming. You'd never even heard of a strike.
It's kicking off near the town hall.
I don't like that new waitress working in the tavern at all.
Welcome to our humble Valsambor funicular station, miss. I'm afraid you'll have to wait a bit before you can go up to the clinic. Traffic has been halted this morning, and now there's a rather progressive return to service.
When they shut the funicular down this morning, it created chaos.
Let Steiner take the prosthesis. I have enough to do with the lake crossing.
This morning's stoppage occurred at the request of the clinic's senior management. We don't have any more information at this time.
You take care of finding a way for the ostriches to cross the lake, Miss Walker. I'll finish the prosthesis and take it to Kirk.
I need to concentrate if I'm going to finish this prosthesis, dear Miss Walker.
Sarah is a brave girl. I owe her much indeed. That damned Dr. Syberia3 will be absolutely furious when I tell him about the attack I just had. You take care of finding a way for the ostriches to cross the lake, Miss Walker. I'll finish the prosthesis and take it to Kirk.
Fantastic! Fantastic!
Impossible, I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again.
Welcome to our humble Valsambor funicular station, miss. I'm afraid you'll have to wait a bit before you can go up to the clinic. Traffic has been halted this morning, and now there's a rather progressive return to service.
It's kicking off near the town hall.
I'd rather be left here on my own if you don't mind, miss.
I hope you find the tavern agreeable, miss.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
We're pretty lucky with all we've been through. At least we've still got places like this. The captain is just there, next to the fireplace.
Captain Obo?
What do you want?
May I sit down for a second?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry to impose, but I actually really...
You know, you kind of remind me of someone. The wife of the quartermaster that served on board the Crystal after the war. Do you realize he got married to the first cousin of the wife of a machinist?
Oh, okay. That's all really interesting, but what I wanted to ask...
That's a really great story, really. Because, did you know? So there. So the guy answers, I don't know nothing, Captain. Turns out he was hiding in the broom closet. Hilarious. Irina, the wife of the quartermaster, her name was Irina Malevna. Crazy how much you look like her.
Oh, gee, it's getting late. I have to go. You can finish telling me the story another time, Captain Obo. That shape there in the water, what is it?
I'd really suggest you steer well clear of Captain Obo, miss. He's always basically drunk as a skunk.
Is everything okay, Kate?
Not really. I'd like to ask Captain Obo if the Yukon caravan can go on board his boat to cross over to Baranor. But I can't get a straight answer. He's completely sloshed.
I'm sorry, miss, but I really think you're wasting your time. He's getting drunk again to forget his crimes, like he always does. To forget he wasn't brave the way a captain should be. Can you believe it? In Baranor, he just picked up and abandoned his passengers. And I know, he'll never want to see that cursed place again.
I'm not sure that's true, lad. Even if he does drink a lot, the captain's a pretty good guy. Say the right thing, and you may be able to convince him.
If I'm ever lucky enough to find him sober, even for a moment, I need that drunkard to listen to me.
Maybe I can help you with that. I'll make him one of my famous small restoratives. After that, he'll want to sleep for 3 days, but at least his mind will be clear. What do you think of that, then, miss?
Kate, answer me.
You know the captain better than I do. What can you tell me that will help me to convince him?
One thing's for sure, he definitely hates himself for abandoning all those people to their fate over there in Baranor. All of those men, women, and children that Grandfather's army of automatons was going to rescue and bring back on board the Crystal. He has the impression nobody here will ever forgive him, and to be perfectly honest, he's not far wrong. Plus, he's also racked with guilt. So in my opinion, avoid criticizing him.
Do you know why Captain Obo fled Baranor?
He must have been completely traumatized by what he saw there. The catastrophe, the victims, and then the radiation. He unloaded the automatons on the beach, But he didn't expect they'd bring the survivors back right then. He just cracked, completely snapped. Full astern and goodbye all. Can you even imagine?
Afterwards, he came up with that story of a sea monster appearing and attacking his boat.
Yes, the old legend of the monster of the lake. Convenient, isn't it?
Has Captain Obo taken the crystal out of port since leaving Baranor?
He's been far too drunk ever since then for that.
And anyway, the port's been closed since the tragedy of Baranor 20 years ago.
Do you think the crystal is still in sailing condition after all this time?
I'm sure there'll be a few repairs to do, but Obo never stopped keeping it in shape, you know. He loves his boat, despite everything.
Who knows what became of the victims and automatons the captain abandoned?
No, everybody hates the captain for that. But nobody volunteered to take the helm of the crystal in his place to pick up the survivors. If there are any left in Baranor. They're all dead now, that's for sure.
Grandfather says that the automatons would have broken down really quickly with nobody to maintain them.
Go see the captain. Sarah will bring you the restorative when it's ready.
Go and talk to Captain Obo. I'll bring you his restorative.
All those youngsters trying to act smart to impress the Steiner girl. It really gets to me.
I'm not standing here because I'm happy, you know, miss.
I'd really suggest you steer well clear of Captain Obo, miss. He's always basically drunk as a skunk.
Take this, Captain. This one's on the house.
My God! This pisswater unbattens the hatches, swabs the deck, and opens the portholes. Hello, Miss.
My name is Kate Walker, Captain Obo. We met each other earlier.
To what do I owe the honor of your presence at the table of the regrettably famous Captain Obo?
This is good news, Captain. You're back at the starting block again. You have a new beginning, a new dawn.
Ha! Now that's a good show of spirit, Miss Walker. What'll you be having now? It's my round. So what?
I'd rather you listen to me. You're my only hope of finding a solution to my problem.
Do tell me about it, please, miss.
Because the Yukels and their ostriches are stuck here in Valsumbor, it's causing a serious problem among the people in your community. Plus, the nomads have to continue their great journey. Only you, Captain Obo, can defuse the situation by taking them on board the crystal.
You're very wrong, Miss Walker. Everybody will tell you that I'm incapable of giving a hand to anyone.
I took a look at your logbook, Captain. I read what you wrote when you fled Baranor.
So in that case, you know what I am, right? I'm damned and rotten to the core.
Let me tell you something, Captain. I know that you need to redeem yourself, and I just may be able to help you do that.
How in the hell?
Take the Yukel caravan to Baranor in the crystal. The migration must go that way.
Baranor? That's impossible. You can't go to there anymore. Never again. Too much happened. Too many died. And also there, in the water, I saw the hellish red eyes of the monster of the lake. Beast as big and long as my boat. Ask your Yukel friends what they think about it. They call it the Kilak, the evil spirit of the lake. The devil guarding the doorway to hell.
Captain, I think it's time for you to clear your head of all these fanciful stories designed to scare people. Everywhere in the world where the water is deep, people have come up with legends designed to keep children safe. Come on, get up, Captain Obo. Show me what you're made of.
Miss Walker, first of all, I have to say that you're an incredibly stubborn woman. I'd even say that you're a real, Anyway, I'll stop there. But I get it.
And what am I to conclude from your appraisals?
All right. You can get your gang of little savages and board the crystal. I'll take you.
Oh, thank you, Captain, really, with all my heart. And thank you on behalf of the Yukos.
Oh, but be careful now, Cabin Girl. You're not there yet. There are 2 conditions, and they aren't negotiable. First, we stop by Narados. It's a little town just a bit south of Baranor. That will mean we avoid the most radioactive zones, but it won't actually take you too far off your path. And second, we also sail by day. I'm not going to finish up on the lake monster's plate. And it sleeps during the day. The beast is usually a bit of a night owl.
I accept, Captain Obo.
In that case, all hands on deck now, sailor, because we've got work to do before we can hoist the anchor.
Come on, Kate. You hurry off and meet with the captain before he changes his mind. I'll go tell Grandfather to join you on board the Crystal with Kirk.
Thank you, Sarah.
You take care of finding a way for the ostriches to cross the lake, Miss Walker. I'll finish the prosthesis and take it to Kirk.
All right, Captain. How are the preparations going?
There's quite a bit of work to do before we can hoist the anchor, Miss Kate.
Maybe I can help you out with something.
Well, the coal needs to be stocked up. As for myself, I'll look after getting the water tanks ready to be filled. Take this. It's the code you need for entering the hangar where the coal is kept. You actually need it to use the crane to load the coal onto the crystal. Don't forget to open the storage hatchway first.
How do I open the hatchway to the coal storage on the crystal?
Just turn the wheel on the ship's bridge, sailor.
What do I need the crane for?
This here is for loading all the coal you get from the hangar onto the ship. Use the code I gave you so that you can access the control post.
What do I need to do in the hangar?
That's where you'll find all the coal you need for the crystal. One container should just about be enough. And don't forget to use the entry code for the crane that I just gave you.
I'll take care of that, Captain.
We need to set sail as soon as possible, so better hurry up. Turn the wheel on the bridge to open up the crystal's coal storage tank.
This must be the coal tank that the captain asked me to fill from outside. This would be perfect for the Yukels. This must be the coal tank that the captain asked me to fill from outside.